All right, so now I'm going to show you how to browse through your songs and browse through your playlists using the S4 hardware and the software. Now, back in the day, DJs used to show up to their gigs with crates of vinyl, and they would have their crates organized in a certain way. Like some artists might have their crates organized in alphabetical order, some might have the crates organized by style, but the difference between playing with vinyl and playing with Traktor is you can only put a record into one crate, whereas Traktor, you can have thousands of crates and you can put the same song into as many crates as you would like, and you can be as organized as you would like. Okay, so here's how to browse on the S4 hardware. So in the middle of the mixer section, we have this browse knob. Now, if I push on the browse knob, it will collapse the decks inside of Traktor, so I can actually see more songs on my screen. And if I turn the browse knob, it's going to start scrolling through the songs. Now, I can load the songs in a couple different ways. So if I want to load into deck A, I just push the load button for deck A, and you can see that it's loaded the song into the left deck. If I want to load into deck B, I just push the load button for deck B, and now we've loaded the song into the right deck. The S4 also has this awesome feature called browse mode. So when I push down on the browse encoder, the S4 is now in browse mode. You see I have these blinky cue lights. So how it works is when I'm in browse mode, I can use a few different features. I can use the browse encoder, the jog wheels, the cue buttons, and I can use the move encoders. Okay? So now if I want to load into a deck, if I'm in browse mode, I can actually just push this cue button for the deck I want to load into. You can see that it's loaded into deck A, deck B, deck D, or deck C. So very handy. Now, another cool feature is instead of turning the browse knob, you can actually turn the jog wheels. So when I turn the jog wheels, you can see that Traktor is going through the song list. If you want to scroll through your playlists, you can do this in a couple ways. So if I hold Shift and turn the browse encoder, you can see it's going up and down through my browser tree, which are my playlists or crates. But if I'm in browse mode, I can now use the move encoders to scroll through my playlists. And then if I use this right move encoder, I can actually scroll through my favorites playlist. The favorites playlists are 12 shortcuts to your favorite playlists. So before every gig, what I do is I go through my endless collection of playlists, I drag my 12 favorite ones to the top, and that way I can just, on stage, I don't have to be digging through my playlist tree. I can just click on the playlist I want, boom, or I can move this encoder and it'll scroll through my favorite crates. Amazing feature. Another thing I'll touch on is it's called the preview deck. Traktor has this thing called the preview player that will let you pre-listen to the songs before loading them into the deck. The preview player is this little teeny deck right next to the browser tree. If you don't see that, you can go to Preferences, Browser Details, and select Show Preview Player. Now on the controller, you have this preview button. So if I push the preview button, it's going to load a song into the preview deck, and I can hear it in my headphones. And to hear it in your headphones, you have to turn the headphone volume, the cue volume, in the front of the S4 up, and now you'll hear the song in the preview deck. Another trick when you're browsing, if I hit the space bar on my computer's keyboard, it will collapse the decks. So see when I hit the space bar, you can also see this little magnifying glass icon lights up. That means we're in browser only mode. And just hit the space bar again. And then if I want to load using my keyboard, I can either drag a song into a deck, just like this, or I can use my key commands Shift, Left, and that will load into deck A. And if I hold Shift and push the right arrow, that will load into deck B. So that's how you can navigate through your playlist. You can load songs.